Hey boys and girls, here's our second video for the day. So I'm gonna go through some math items that I'm gonna be sending to you today for extra practice. We are first going to start with a game. So since I taught you about the clock in our previous video, I'm gonna send a game that you and your mom and dad could play. You could play by yourself. You could play with your brother or your sister. It's up to you. Parents, I just need for you to help them determine whether the game board deals with time to the half hour or time to the hour. So you use the appropriate spinner on the game. So what I'm gonna send to you is the first page, which is going to be the instructions that tell you exactly how to play the game. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of just a little cover up. You can use whatever you would like to cover up the clocks once you get the answer. You can use pennies, you can use pieces of paper, you can use anything that you have lying around your house that you would like to cover up. So there's going to be the instructions that's going to be sent. And then I'm going to send you two game boards. One of them you can use that deals with just time to the hour. And when time is to the hour, which means the minute hand is pointing to the 12, we say o'clock. So that is that time to the hour. So for instance, if we were back on this clock that we just used, let's say we didn't have that hand right there. And let's say that instead the hand was pointing up to the 12. That would mean o'clock. So it would be 2 o'clock, 2:00. So that's the o'clock game board. Then another game board that's going to be sent is the time to the half hour, which is what you're practicing on your math homework, which means time going with 30 minutes, where that big long minute hand is going to be touching the number 6, which represents 30 minutes. Some of the clocks on there maybe time. Nope, none of them are time to the hour. They're all time to the half hour. So you'll get that half hour board, and then you're going to get the next page, which is going to be your two spinners. So parents, here's where you need to make sure that you've got the correct board game, because this one says o'clock, so the spinner goes to time to the hour, and this one says 30, which means it's going to be time to the half hour, 30 minutes. So you have to use the right spinner for the right game board, so you make sure that you're playing it correctly. You can play this game whenever you like. It's yours to keep at home. Take it and play it for review, for practice, for fun. Go around and see if you have clocks at your house that tell time and see what times are on that clock, or notice whenever it gets to the hour or the half hour. Now the next thing that Miss Bowden's going to send you is a math journal page. And so we used to do our math journals in our notebook, but some of these pages you might not be able to glue onto a sheet of paper, or if you have a sheet of paper you can glue it on. But this is more of a cut and out page. It deals with our place value, just going over how many tens and ones are in a number. So here's going to be your first math journal page, and you have your numbers, and you have to match all of your base 10 blocks, your tens and ones, to the correct number. It's just a simple cut and paste activity for us to go over how many tens and how many ones are made up in a number. The next activity Miss Bowden's going to send you, I'm going to send you two different pages. One's called Extra Practice 4 and one is Extra Practice 5. It is to practice those math challenges that Miss Bowden sent you a couple of days ago and last week on adding 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. Remember, I wanted you to draw that line to separate. Now, on these pages, it gives you some weird instructions on some of them to do a different way that Miss Bowden hasn't taught you yet. I want you to ignore those instructions. Don't follow the instructions on these two pages. I want you to solve these two pages any way that you want. You can solve them drawing tens and ones. You can solve them using the number bond way, or you can solve them old school vertical, what Miss Bowden challenged you with, up and down. So there are 2 ways that 3 ways or 4 ways or whatever strategy Miss Bowden taught you that you can solve them. So I want you to ignore those instructions on that page, and I want you to really focus on whatever strategy works best for you. Draw it out using 10s and 1s, do the number bond way, or old school up and down where it will make you draw that line to separate your 10s and 1s. And remember, if you do that, you got to start on the right side and use the 1s place value first and add them up, and then you go on to the 10s place value. If you need help, go back to those videos I posted a couple of days ago, or I think I posted it yesterday too, and I posted one last week about how to solve those up and down if you want to use that strategy. But those are going to be our math pages coming to you in this post, so you have extra practice going on today. Have fun!